So let's talk about Nigeria. We've got issues with Boko Haram in the northeast, Maiduguri. We've got banditry and criminality at the border. We've got the Fulani herdsmen. We've got IPOP still continuing the Biafran secessionist movement. I mean, coming from your war economy perspective, does the Nigerian military or the Nigerian army really stand a chance? Because what it's been done is tasked by the federal government and the president to go off and have that almost like one military fist, if you like. The army does what the army does. Whereas are we at the point where you can only solve some of those crises through using other methods? But is the federal government willing to do that?
Sadly, I dare say that unfortunately, it is getting worse. Getting worse in the sense that you may be surprised that even prior to the beginning of insurgency in the north in 2009, I predicted it and said, if this thing allowed to work, not trashed in the bud, it will metamorphose into so many categories of violent crimes. Because what? I read a literature, something highly confidential. They call it classified documents in France when I was there as a student in the 1980s. So that was the plan for Africa, and they are waiting to deal with Nigeria that has been quelling problems in West Africa. They wanted to create a security problem for Nigeria, so that in the name of ECOMOG and anything, Nigeria will be just on the defensive. That was how it was created. This thing has always been there, but they waited. They waited for the correct president and correct governors at the borders. Borno State, for instance, we had Governor Sharif, and then as a president, we had President Obasanjo, who as soon as we came, the way Tinubu dealt with it, removed, fuel subsidy removed, one day without even waiting for the end of June. They removed, and automatically things began to collapse. Obasanjo, as soon as he came, removed the subsidy and even sold off the main companies. For instance, sold off Nigerian Airways, Railway. I even sold the legislative quarters, monetized so many things. And those basic infrastructure were not supposed to be privatized or sold off. But President Obasanjo then, despite the harakiri and the gymnastics he plays to convince people, he planted the seed of all the illegalities and all the problems of Nigeria, starting from Boko Haram insurgency, because his government selectively weeded out the professionals who are patriotic. Normally, militaries are just loyal to the country, not to the individuals in power. So, weeded out, weakened the security system, and then opened the floodgate through Borno. Then with our own military, completely the weapons were moved from northern Borno to down south in Lagos barracks and so on. Some of them even exploded and killed scores. That was the actual thing. I wanted people to talk when he's alive, rather than wait for him to go away before starting to accuse him. The weakening was done by the government of Obasanjo. And then again took away the national telecommunication. We have the wireless and so on telephone system that we had called NITEL. Destroyed NITEL and allowed foreign telecom companies to come and impose their own tariffs. MTN, Airtel, and so on came and decided to not decide how much the people pay. And Nigeria is a big market of over 200 million people. So that was the president himself who did it for against the country itself.
So it was almost like